So good morning. I'm Adam Noah. Um, Thank you for welcoming our family back to Teachers College. I have very fond memories of David and I in the dean's office 40 years ago, stuffing envelopes with letters and flyers. I think we were grossly underpaid by the dean at the time, but we now have this memory that is rather priceless. Thank you, President Bailey, the faculty and staff, for arranging this celebration of Harold's life, for coming today, colleagues and friends for coming today and talking about how he has touched all of us. Those who have spoken have covered his academic achievements, his accomplishments, who he was as a person, so thoughtfully. Everyone who spent time with him is richer for it and knows that they spent time with someone who is very special. I thought I'd share some words about his time in retirement. As much the academic that he was, retirement suited him very well. First in Armenia and South Africa, this was their annual migration, and then in Florida. He largely spent the time continuing to read, to learn, refreshing what he had once learned but forgotten, educating others, and taking care of our mother. Even in his 90s, these last couple of years, his mind was very active and sharp. He wasn't interested in wasting the opportunity to continue learning and mentoring. One story I'll share, although it's not really more remarkable than any of the others, is about a young man who had joined the dining staff at the Senior Living Center where he and my mother had moved into. The young man was a waiter. He served the meals to the residents whom our father called his fellow inmates. The young man was bright, he was eager, he was industrious, and he had a basic education. But this was not a job with any opportunity for advancement. I don't even think the facility where they were knew the phrase, career advancement, career development, let alone thought that it had any relevance to their minimum wage employees. But Dad saw that this young man had potential. He mentored him, he helped him get a job on the nursing side of the facility, which was a significant advance, a promotion, much more responsibility, interesting job. That's one part of the story, right, which I don't think surprises any of us. He could see people with potential and he wanted them to succeed. The other wonderful part of the story is that all of the other staff very quickly figured out how this promotion had happened. They were in awe of the power that Harold apparently had, and they treated him like royalty. I'm going to ask for a waiver on my time. Thank you. The other story is about our father as a devoted husband who cared for his wife as her health declined. She had Parkinson's and a related dementia. And he said that the plan was always that she would take care of him in his declining years. She was 11 years his junior. But life doesn't always work out as one plans. He acknowledged to me. Of course, he took such good care of her. Reading to her for hours a day. I think we heard the Tolstoy story. Taking her for walks around the lake in her wheelchair. Feeding her at meal times. And hounding the staff to make sure that they were taking care of her. We talked about how difficult it was, given that she was no longer the Helen that we had known. And his response was, "It's what you do." And so, whereas she declined mentally in her last years, he remained as witty, engaged, and intellectually curious as ever, right to the end. How appropriate. Thank you.